Welcome to the Leadership Spark podcast, where we equip you to be the great leader your people deserve. This is Corey, and today we're going to be continuing to move forward in unpacking the 10 lies of leadership, and today is day 7. So if you missed the first 6, go back and listen to those to make sure that you're not believing a lie about leadership that could be minimizing your influence as a leader. And so today we're going to take on number 7. We're going to unpack number 7, which is that leaders don't make mistakes. So that is a lie, a myth about leaders, is that you can't be a leader until you reach a certain level to where you don't make mistakes at all. And so the lie that you can believe is that a good leader never fails or admits error. And maybe you've believed part of that. Maybe you believe that if you're a good leader, then you don't mess up. If you're a good leader, you don't make mistakes. If you're a good leader, you don't need to raise your hand and say that you need help or that you made an error. And that is a lie about leadership, because the truth is this: mistakes are inevitable as a leader. Mistakes are inevitable, and mistakes are teachers, not threats. When you think about failure can either define you or develop you. And you have to think about it in that context. Failure is coming. What do you do with it whenever you fail as a leader? And you can allow a mistake that you make, or an error that you make, or something that happens that you want to reverse time and not do again as a leader. You can use that as a teacher, not a threat to yourself as a leader. And growth as a leader depends on what you learn from the failure that you experience. And so don't believe the lie that leaders don't make mistakes. You can look at Steve Jobs. You know who Steve Jobs is. You know about the history of Apple. And if you know about the history of Apple, you know that the company he founded fired him and pushed him out. And do you think he felt like a failure at that point? Do you think he made some mistakes that he wished he could go back in time and redo? You bet he did. He did have that. And you can read all about it. You can watch movies about it. But what happened was that he later returned to Apple. As you know, if you know the end of the story, he was a better leader, a stronger leader, a wiser leader, and more human-centered in his leadership, because he learned from the mistakes he made in the past whenever he started Apple. And so the same is true for you. The same is true for me, is that we can allow mistakes that we make as a leader, which we are going to make mistakes. We can allow those to be a teacher and not a threat. We can allow those to develop us and not define us. And so the go and do is this: when you make a mistake, whenever something happens, stop, pause, and ask yourself the question, what did I learn? What did I learn? If your team makes a mistake, you stop, you reflect, and you ask the question, what did we learn as a result of this experience? And have a conversation about it. You don't blame people. You just focus on the lessons that can be learned, that can be applied to the next time you find yourself in that situation. That will make you a better leader the next time you come across that same leadership challenge. So don't buy into the 7th lie, which is leaders don't make mistakes. In other words, lean in, let failure develop you, and learn from it. And if you do that, you'll be a better leader. So come back tomorrow. We'll talk about lie number 8 in our series of unpacking the 10 lies of leadership.